Okay, right, welcome to the revision video for going over the exam papers. So started with the first one, and I'm going to split the video into three, going through the biology, going through the chemistry, then going through the physics. Ideally, what you want to do is you want to go through the paper first. Yeah, give it your best shot, and then watch this video, and you can see where you went wrong or the bits that you did really well. Okay, so this paper is concerning Monday, 19th of May, 2014. Okay, so what I'm going to do is go back and forth from that and the mark scheme. Okay, first question, section A, biology B1. So it's all the biology. Choose from the list the name of part A. So obviously part A is that one right there, that little flappy bit above the lens. And you know that's a coloured bit of the eye, which is called the iris. Yeah, so the first one is the iris. The flame can be seen because rays of light enter the eye and travel to the back of the eyeball. Describe what happens to light rays as they travel to the back of the eyeball. Well, basically what happens is that they hit the lens and they're inverted and they hit the back of the retina. Okay, so that's really what we're doing. And when light bends through a more dense medium like the lens, it's called refraction. So I'd say that the light rays are refracted or bent, I think you can say that, and then they go to the back of the retina. Okay, let's have a look at officially what the mark scheme is saying for us. Okay, basically they are saying light ray refracted, then choose anyone. So you have to say that light rays focus, and it says allow bends. This is for the first mark. And the second mark is refracted by the cornea lens focused onto the back of the retina. So really it's about bending of the light to hit the back of the retina. Okay, that was essentially the answer. Okay, moving on to the next one. Look at the picture of the tiger. Tigers have binocular vision. Binocular vision is an advantage when a tiger hunts. Suggests why. That's basically about how the tiger can judge distance, isn't it? Idea of judging how far away prey is. Yeah, so that's basically what it is. Okay, easy enough. Remember the eyes at the front of their heads so they can judge distance. Yeah, it's called binocular vision. Eyes at the front of their heads. Katie buys her mum a plant for her birthday. She puts the plant under a bed to hide it from her mum. Okay, this is the bed. Obviously, always look at the diagram, by the way, guys. And that is light coming from the window. Look at the diagram. It shows a plant 1 week underneath the bed. Light from the window. After 1 week under the bed, you can see that the plant has moved to it. Describe what has happened to the plant. Well, the plant has obviously grown towards the light. Okay, so looking from the mark scheme, under what they say, is the plant has bent, okay, grown, okay, towards the light for the second mark. Easy peasy. Okay, is as easy as that. Chemicals in the plant control growth. Write down the name of these chemicals. Well, just like any other person, any other organism, is going to be hormones. Plants have hormones, humans have hormones. So that's what the answer is. It's hormones that control them. And remember, for plant growth, it's the name auxin, isn't it? Yeah. The root of the plant is growing towards. The root of the plant will be growing down into the soil due to gravity. Give the name of this response. Remember, when plants grow towards gravity, it's called geotrophism. Okay, that's what it's called, geotrophism. All right. Moving on. Okay, insulin is a hormone found in the human body. Look at the graph. It shows how insulin levels change during the day. Okay, insulin levels in the blood, you can see that. And obviously, the meal is eaten and then it spikes. You can see that. Second meal, and you can see after every meal, the insulin is spiking. Explain the patterns in the graph. Well, obviously, after the meal, the insulin levels spike, don't they? Yeah, every time a meal is eaten, the level in the insulin levels spike. So any two from insulin levels increases to lower blood sugar, increases because there's glucose, insulin release from the pancreas, idea of lag time. Basically what it's saying is it wants you to know what's happening with this graph, and what's happening is asking you to explain it. Okay, well, what I did is describe the graph. I said every time a meal is eaten, you can see that the insulin levels increase. It says explain. Okay, explain. And explanation is, why is it happening? So you can see that every time a meal is eaten, insulin levels increase because every time you eat a meal, there's more glucose in the blood. So therefore, more insulin is released by the pancreas. Okay, that's the explanation. See the difference? Right, this question is about smoking. People who smoke often have high blood pressure. Explain how smoking causes high blood pressure. Right, remember when we talked about this, we talked about carbon monoxide and nicotine, didn't we, in one of the revision videos, if you've watched it. Okay, so idea, carbon monoxide reduces oxygen carrying capacity of the blood. So carbon monoxide stops the red blood cells from carrying oxygen. Carbon monoxide reduces carrying capacity of the blood, so heart rate increases to compensate. Yeah, so the idea of smoking, when you smoke, your blood pressure goes up because your heart has to beat quicker because it can't carry as much oxygen. Okay, obviously there was the bit about nicotine that also increases blood pressure. Let's see if it will allow nicotine. Idea smoking causes blocking of the arteries. No, so it is the idea of carbon monoxide. Yeah, decreasing the amount of blood that the blood can actually carry. So the heart rate in turn has to increase. Yeah, remember we did talk about hemoglobin in that. Okay, right. Going back to it. So this is going to be the 6-mark question, isn't it? Yes, it is. Okay, right. It shows percentage. Look at the graph, so you can see the graph. Percentage of population who are smokers. You can see that that's in 1980, so that's the grey bar over there. That's from 16 to 19. This is 2008. Okay, and it shows the different age groups. And I notice what I'm doing here. I'm going through the graph and I'm trying to understand what the graph is actually showing me. The number of people smoking in 1980 is very different to the number in 2008. We can obviously see that, can't we? We can see in 2008 they're significantly lower. Okay, the outside of the packet has also changed. That is in 1980. Okay, and that is in 2008. You can obviously see the differences as warning labels, isn't it? Okay, describe the patterns in the graph, suggest reasons why the number of smokers has changed. Okay, now the key point in this question is, first of all, this is 2 questions really, isn't it? Really, when you're looking at it, I did say to you guys before in class that they split the question up. It's not just one simple question. The first bit is describe the patterns in the graph, and the second bit is suggest reasons why the number of smokers has changed. Okay, so let's look at that. Let's look at the graph in the first place. Let's do this bit first. Describe the patterns in the graph. Now, what I would probably say, the first thing that strikes me is that more people in 1980 were smoking than they were smoking in 2008. I think you can say that for all of them. Then I'd probably split it up and look at what's happening in 1980. And I'd probably say that from the age of 16 to 19, the number of smokers increased as the years went on. Until the age group of 24 to 34, then there's less people smoking in those age groups. So this is really about talking about age groups. So which one smokes the most? So in 1980, the biggest smoking age group is 25 to 34. That's probably one thing I would say. Now I'd look on the 2008 one. And I would say, well, okay, and then there's a bigger difference, isn't there? So in the 20 to 24 age group, that's the main age group that smokes in 2008, but in 1980 it was 25 to 34. That's one main difference. And you can say, now which group is there, like one where it shows the big difference? Now there's a big difference, isn't there, for both of them, that the numbers from after the age of 59, there's always a big drop for both of them. So I'd probably talk about that as well, because you can obviously see that, and that's quite a big drop. So that's me describing the graph. Suggest reasons why the number of smokers have changed. Well, why have the smoking numbers changed since 1980 and 2008? Well, I would probably think the most obvious thing is that people are more aware. People are more aware that because you've seen all the adverts about people with the cutting up their, when you look up the arteries and you can see the plaque all built up, and so people are more aware of the things like heart disease, and more aware of the things that it causes cancer. You can write about how more people are more aware that it causes cancer, more aware that it causes bronchitis, more aware that it causes other smoking-related illnesses. So if you describe the graph and talked about it. Now, let's have a look. So level 1 answer is describe a pattern, okay? Or suggest a reason why they smoke less. Okay, so you could have said that makes you unhealthy, causes cancer. That's very simple for level 1 for 1 to 2 marks. Yeah. For level 2, describes at least 2 patterns. So for a level 2 answer, should have described about 2 patterns. For example, some of those patterns could have been 25 to 34 have the highest percentage in 1980. That's basically what we said, isn't it? And that one has the highest in 2008. And 59 has the biggest drop. Yeah, so it's all of the things that we said. So remember, guys, if it gives you data, always quote it. Yeah, I've said that to you many, many times before. If there's data, talk about the data. Okay? And so yeah, and suggest a reason why they've stopped smoking. For level 3, 2 patterns again, but suggest more specific reasons why they've actually less people smoke. So we've basically already done that, haven't we? We've talked about the drop in the data, and we've talked about how more people are aware of heart disease, cancer, but it says named cancer. You can't just say cancer. It's got to be named cancer, like, although you can't see that, but that says lungs, esophagus and mouth, aware that it causes emphysema, aware that it causes bronchitis, and it may affect smoking. So we've done that, haven't we? We've done that for 6 marks. We've suggested 2 patterns and reasons why. Okay, so that was that. Okay, so look at the pie chart. It shows percentage increase, percentage intake of 3 main parts of a balanced diet. Carbohydrates, obviously 30%, 15% makes 45%, so this must be, the remaining bit must be 55, because bar charts always add up to 100. The diet of the diet is of an adult. The pie charts for a teenager would be different. Explain why it would be different. I'd imagine it's something to do with protein. Okay, the fact that they need more protein, or their diet could be a bit more unhealthier. Let's have a look. Sorry, we've gone too far. Higher percentage of proteins because teenagers are grown. Remember when we said that? Teenagers need more protein for growth and repair. Okay, right. A high percentage of fats in the diet could be unhealthy. Explain why. We talked about this in the revision video as well. We talked about plaque and etc., didn't we? Talk about how weight gain and weight can cause heart disease. So what does it say? Make you fat, put on weight, make you obese, heart disease, heart attacks, diabetes, arthritis, high blood pressure, high cholesterol. There's loads of things you can put down about gaining weight. So there you go. Or a high percentage of fat. So heart disease, high blood pressure, build-up of cholesterol. Okay, right, last question. Most athletes eat special diets to help them improve their performance. Some athletes use stimulants. People think that athletes should not take stimulants. Suggest 2 reasons why. So, reasons why. First of all, if some athletes were taking stimulants, and it wouldn't be fair on those that weren't taking any stimulants. So that would be unfair. And the second thing is, well, if it's a stimulant, it's going to make your heart beat faster, isn't it? And if you're doing exercise, that could potentially be very dangerous, couldn't it? So what does the actual mark scheme tell us? Idea of cheating, unfair to other athletes, literally what we said. Idea of health issues, so, you know, stimulant making the heartbeat faster, so dizziness, headaches, that kind of thing. Alright, that was simple enough. Okay, and that was the end of the biology. Okay, so that's B1. So hopefully you tried all of those questions, and that was us going through all the answers. Okay, so watch the video for the C1 part of the exam for Monday the 19th of May. Okay, bye-bye.